drive your mother-in-law to the airport or something, you have plenty of time to do it.
Questions? We always talk about David Krejci and the line changes and the different right wings, all this stuff, but he's still almost a point per game player. I mean, what do you think it is about him that allows him to still produce that way?
Well, he'll always play his game. I think it starts with being a good player. It takes a lot of pride in what he does. Sure, I'd be the first to tell you, we'd rather have chemistry and the same guys every night. We've talked to him a number of times about how we're going to try to do that. It doesn't always work out. So I think he's a good pro in that regard. Just comes to play. We'll try to mix some guys in with him. Two-man from time to time. That the pasta situation, or even Marshall on the left. When Bergie's out, we try to put him up there. So. To make him understand that where his value is, whether he's listed as a first line or second line, that we need him to help drive the team. That's why he's got a letter on his shirt as well, and he's been good with that. And all around too, his plus minus I think is highest in the team, and so he's played well away from the puck as well. It's some young numbers.
Is it that he thinks the game so well? Is that maybe his biggest
I'd say
strength?
that's his greatest strength.
Yeah.
That and his composure with the puck. He can slow it down, and still make his plays. Still keep up in today's modern NHL, so that's a credit. Usually you got to be pretty smart to be able to do that and have good composure. Strong on the puck. I think he's underrated there. Very rarely do you see him lose a puck battle once he's got it. Positionally smart to make up for each year the league gets a little bit faster, so he's been able to do a good job keeping the pace. Some of that, like I said, is IQ. Some of it's he's probably tell you he's changed his training a little bit to be a little bit lighter as well, to be able to do that.
5 sets of back-to-backs this month. I can't remember that ever happening before with this team. Like, what kind of, is there unique circumstances that present, challenges that presents when you have that many?
Well, it does, but we're fortunate. I think we have said it before. Then we've got good goaltending, so either one we've got a chance right away. It is a lot. It does seem like a lot. It seems like they had a lot this year in general for whatever reason. So, but we just play them. We have some depth, so we can move different guys in and out of the lineup. I think we're well conditioned. It's not a big problem for us. I don't see. But last week, I think the Sunday game it showed up a little bit. When you have 4 games in the same week, and then the quick turnaround on the travel, Chicago was a late, kind of in and out, so you're losing a bit of sleep. I don't like to make excuses, but I think Sunday it showed up a little bit mentally for us, not physically. I thought we had our legs. We competed hard. We didn't execute like we typically do. We missed some open nets. We fumbled a few pucks. We missed some plays. So I think it caught up to us.
Just to follow up on that, I was just talking to Z about teams will always kind of break the season into bunches, and this is where we got to be at this point and that point. How good has this team been at doing that? So if you do have one of those games, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Well, we talked about our start. That's always an area of focus. With last year was new to me, and the guys, some of the veteran guys have been through it in 13 and 11. But 13 was not the lockout, right? So even that's probably a question mark on how much they played. So
Yeah.
we're an asterisk. So, but a lot of the guys hadn't. So we were going to have to make sure we had their attention early. I thought we did. We won games. Didn't play probably to the best of our ability every night or for 60 minutes, but we won games. So we got through that segment. The tougher one came in December, I guess. And that one was difficult, I think, on everybody. We just were having a tough time. But we knew going into this break coming up that if we could be in a good spot, hold that lead we had from the start, that we'd be okay coming out of the breaks. I think we were one of there's probably a handful of teams that if you ranked how important that break was, I've got to believe we'd be up there with the top few teams. We needed it. Came at a good time for us. I think it showed in our play since. We talked about it a bit before, though, Jimmy, against the Pittsburgh games. We had to get reset a bit, so we probably went into that mindset a few games before the break, but coming out of it, I like where we are in terms of our 60-minute.
Is Halak perfectly okay at this point? Is there any concerns about the issue flaring up again?
I mean, it's a good question because of what just happened. He played Wednesday. He was fine in practice Friday, so just a little nagging thing that, maybe if it's a night game, he gets through it in the morning, gets some treatment. I think it has something to do with the timing of the game as well. So just a lot of bad things all kind of running together. So I don't believe it'll be a problem. It does make us think that how we're going to schedule it this, because he's going to play one of the two Saturday. It's an earlier game Saturday, so maybe he just goes in Sunday. We set it up that way as a chance to get off the plane and relax and get his treatment the next morning since it's a 3 o'clock game. It's a little different this week. We get the 2 hours break on each end, so it's a little bit easier for us in terms of the quick turnaround.
How far along is Clifton?
Skated with the team first time today, progressed well, no ill effects yet that I've heard of. I'll pop my head in there in the medical room, but I think he's progressing well. He's not going to play tomorrow, not ready yet for that, but he'll keep practicing with us. I expect Norty to play tomorrow.
When you look at this game, 57 games, only 11 regulation losses. Are you impressed with it, or are you thinking, how do we do the 11?
No, I'm impressed with it. I'm also impressed that we've won. If you look through the standings on how many teams win in clean regulation, there's not too many teams that have won more than half their games. We've won 30. I think there's 3 teams in the league, us and Tampa and Colorado, that have won more than half their games in regulation. So, and that's important down the road. There's no shootouts, there's no 3-on-3. So I look at that as a barometer as well. Can we win games, 60-minute games, 5-on-5 hockey? So that I like that about our team as much as the 11 losses shows that we're in every game. Even the losses, if you go through them, which I'm not going to right now because Brandon wants me to get the hell out of here. But some of those games were Detroit, there's a disallowed goal. Montreal, a disallowed offside. Colorado, 2 of them. So you go through them, we're right there in a lot of them. So that says a lot about our guys that we're going to keep playing every night right to the final whistle. We haven't really been, blown out, or certainly we've been outplayed. Don't get me wrong, but in general, we're right there to the end, and it's a sign of a team that always believes they can win.